Thanks for tuning in to the Women's Vibrancy Code, a podcast dedicated to helping women move from exhausted to energized, balance their hormones, and feeling turned on by their life, their lover, and themselves. I'm your host, Maraya Brown. I'm a Yale and functional medicine trained women's health expert, midwife, mom, keynote speaker, and self-made entrepreneur. I'm the founder of my signature program, the Women's Vibrancy Code. So sit back, relax, and let's chat about your energy, hormones, libido, and embracing your feminine power. Oh, and you might want to have pen and paper to take some notes on some of these episodes. Miss Joie Roberts, welcome to the Women's Vibrancy Code podcast. I'm so thrilled to have this conversation. We get to talk about who knows what. Partially, we're going to talk about women's health and fertility because I know that that is part of your personal journey, but also for any woman or individual that's listening and kind of curious about building other sources of income streams, specifically on Amazon sales. Joey's an expert in this world. She built her business from 1 to 1 million in 12 months and then sold it, and runs the Fearless Sellers podcast. But she also just so happens to have published a book about her personal journey of infertility and IVF. So like, we're going to just bounce around and have a fun, juicy conversation. Joey, anything else that you would say to introduce yourself?
Yes, I know. I love it. That's a great introduction. We're going to talk about finances, building wealth, and fertility, and all the great, delicious things.
Yeah. You know, don't you think they're related? Fertility,
I think they are.
And wealth?
They are. They're very much related. And anybody who wants to have a baby and who also wants to have money, where there is a will, there is a way. And it might not be a traditional path to wealth or to having healthy fertility, but it is available to all of us, especially as women.
And I want to say out loud, I'm recording this podcast. The last 2 summers, we did a 2 and a 3 month trip. And this right now, we're on a 3.5 week trip and we're driving. So I'm currently in San Jose. I'm sitting out in the back and there are birds chirping and airplanes driving and someone just dropped something. And it's just like, so if you hear background sound, this is real life. We are on a trip. Yesterday, we did a tour of the Jelly Belly factory.
So how fun. I've done that in San Jose or in East Bay. It's in the East Bay, right?
Yeah. So anyway, this idea, I don't know about you, but I think so often from like a philosophical and energetic perspective, wealth and fertility really come down to potential control.
Yes.
I'm curious, in your experience of navigating both infertility and wealth, do you see that tie?
I do see. It's funny because when you say, the first thing I think of when we think of like fertility and wealth, it's like, I did IVF and that's very expensive. So that's the first thing I think about, is having to spend money to reach your fertility goals is also a shame that it is really perceived as it's for the wealthy. I do think there's a lot you can do for your fertility before you go and spend a lot of money on IVF. I did write my book, Nothing in the Oven, to kind of navigate the path as you're going through IVF. But if you've chosen to go through IVF, I think the best way to cut down on overspending is to just power through it and keep going. And that will, in the long run, save you money, because what I've seen other women do is they start the fertility journey and then they take breaks and they go back to IUIs or they go back to timed intercourse, and then they want to go back to IVF. So look, I know my journey, how I got pregnant. I talked to a lot of women, but that's just like my advice on the wealth part and wanting to achieve wealth. But you also have to spend, a lot of money to go through IVF. And I hope that changes in our world. I know in other countries, they have fertility treatments that are covered by the government or healthcare. And I really hope that does change. And hats off to companies that support infertility and give money to families that are struggling with that. Because I would love to have been working for a company at the time that would have pitched in for some of my IVF. But here's the real bottom line. If you're trying to have a baby, there is no cost to it that can replace once you are successful and you have your child. And even if you do not end up with the result you want, you are going to need to spend that money and that time and that season of your life so that you don't have any regrets and you know you gave it 100%. I wanted to quit so many times.
And I'm thinking, what I'm listening to you, and it's really probably, I would assume, I would guess that your advice is the same as you're supporting any individual who's looking to grow a business and create wealth. I'm hearing, don't take breaks, just keep going. That in the end, no matter how much you've invested, there won't be regrets.
It is in both the journey of infertility and growing your business. I love how you just like pulled all of that together. It's about taking action and staying on track and on course. And don't take breaks from your Amazon business. Yes, well, or whatever business you're growing. For me, it's an Amazon business. But as an entrepreneur and somebody pursuing fertility, they are both lonely tracks. You are in it and you are your biggest cheerleader. Yes, you should get a mentor and you should join a coaching program. I've always joined coaching programs and mentors, but it's 100% up to me and up to you to take action and be in charge of your success growing your business and your success getting pregnant, or like you teach with the vibrancy code, like your success getting your hormones in order and getting healthy.
Mm-hmm. And so would you say in your infertility journey and your health journey, were you all in medical treatments, investing with obviously money, but also nutrition and supplementation? And did you do the deep dive and see functional medicine providers and acupuncturists? And did you like literally take it all on?
Yes. Yeah. I was 100% all in. And the scary thing is when you're facing infertility, it just hits you like, wait, hold on. I can't have a baby. I took my birth control. I got married at 34. I stopped taking my birth control. I should have my baby. Like my baby should just happen within, the 4 to 6 months of trying. And so you don't know your hormones are messed up. I don't know that. I mean, really to this day, I don't know exactly what my complete infertility issue is, but I did exactly what you said. I jumped head in. I did the acupuncture. I did functional medicine. I read books. I changed things. I tried things. I journaled. I documented. I cried a lot and I felt sorry for myself. And I gave myself space to feel sorry for myself. I cut out friends. I cut out, family, anybody who hurt my feelings. I was like, don't need them right now. Hopefully one day I'll circle back, even though I'm phenomenal at holding a grudge. I circled back and I'm friends with all of them again. But it really is a time to just be all in selfishly for yourself.
And how is that similar to business? So I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I'm here building a business as an entrepreneur. There's plenty of days I feel lonely. I feel crazy. Um, there's like this, I feel like I was all in for a few years with all the agencies and all the coaches and all the programs and all the masterminds. And then I feel like I'm about to kind of throw a dynamite into my business and go back to like, wait a minute, it was so all in. Where's my bottom line? And how do we take this back to the basics of what's really important? But then I'm going, oh man, is that me in a place of upper limiting me? Is it upper limiting? Am I in a place of self-sabotage where I simply need to keep like pushing into the storm, knowing that the next triumph is on the other side? I'm curious if you have any thoughts on that. Both, I mean, this is both in health and in business and wealth. It's really
Same.
whatever we're talking about, the same topic here. It's
It
just,
is.
yeah.
It is the same. And going through the infertility strengthened me a lot because I was pretty weak and I was very upset and I felt sorry for myself. And I have felt that way through business and the business journey. My infertility journey was 3 years. This business journey has been up and down. And I've had some very, very low, hard times through my entrepreneur, through building my business. And I've had some really high times. And you want more of the high times, right? And so we're seeking the high. And we only really understand the highs when we've hit such lows. And I remember that with my business, but even this morning I wake up very frustrated at something about work. And I kind of felt like, just like you were saying, like, should I just like throw a bomb on this and stop doing this and shut this down? And then I go for a walk and I have some electrolytes and I process and I come back around and I'm like, hey, you know what? I have a fabulous day ahead of me. I get to be on a podcast with you and then I get to present on how to find a product to sell. And it's really like riding the waves. And it's lonely and it's hard. And you have built this beautiful community to support women through health. And I have my community to support women through entrepreneurship, especially building on Amazon. And I think you and I are similar in this ways is we understand that it's lonely, but being lonely is not a reason to quit. You can find a community and there are other people like us. And just because you and I are a little bit ahead of the journey, we're still learning and we get to support each other. And we want to bring these other women along with us and help them rise up.
I love it. And I really appreciate that I heard you say, okay, I get to change my state. I get to regroup. I get to go back to my center. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to hydrate. I'm going to nourish my body. You didn't say, I'm going to go, I don't know, go to the bank. I'm going to go check my balance sheet. I'm going to go strategize some more. No,
Yeah.
it's, I'm going to go reset my state. And I love it. You get to go back to your true north and whatever it is that you're doing. So you had this infertility journey. You have a child now. How old is your child?
He's 5 and he is wild and fun and full of light and way more than I imagined. Because when you're just thinking, oh, I want to get pregnant and it takes 3 years, all you're thinking is like, I want to have a baby. But it was hard. I could never picture this life. Honestly, I never pictured my life with a 5-year-old because I was so stuck in the I want a baby so bad that being a mom is really hard for me. And I feel like I'm a new mom every day.
Yeah, parenting is no joke. I've got a 10-year-old and 9-year-old and a 6-year-old, and whew, yes. So then you also said that you help predominantly women, but I imagine individuals
Yes.
build an online Amazon business because you led the way and you built your own successful business through the trials and tribulations, through the loneliness, through the like face into the storm, and you had success. You sold it, but now
Hmm.
do you still have your own Amazon business?
Yes. So my first business I built from 0 to 1 million in just under 12 months. And it was a wild, crazy ride. And I did get a mentor, AMZ Insiders. I joined that mentorship program. And after I sold the business, I was walking my dog and my head went to, what am I going to think about today? Like, what do I think about now? I just spent all this effort and energy and thought with my Amazon business. And then I thought, you know what? I want to sell a book on Amazon and I want to rebuild on Amazon. So what I did is I wrote my book, Nothing in the Oven, on my IVF journey in hopes that it could just help somebody else going through IVF do it a little better than me. And from there, I was like, you know what? I love the fertility and the women's health community. So I built an Amazon business around women's health. So it's more of a passion that I'm doing now, where the other business was really to push and grow from 0 to 1 million in the 12 months. So I'm still selling. I'm doing a rebrand on my Amazon business. But also, I went back to Jamie Davidson, who owned AMZ Insiders, when I went through his coaching program, and I started coaching with him. So that's really how I learned to coach and get to support and help other people, anybody who's trying to start on Amazon or has an Amazon business that they need to grow. And Jamie and I became official business partners several months into me coaching. So we are now business partners, and we're growing and we're having a blast, but I sell separately on my own. So I have my own store, and then we coach as a team, and it all goes together because I feel like I live and breathe Amazon, and I love the world of selling on Amazon. And I think it's a really fun and easier barrier to entry to own your own business instead of going out and buying a brick and mortar or buying somebody else's business, which can cost you up to $1 million. Really, starting on Amazon, you can get started with, $5,000 or $10,000 is a really comfortable place to start.
And so you're specifically now, so now you're selling. So I switched locations for those that are watching because the Wi-Fi was coming in and out a bit, and I didn't know if it was mine or yours. So I came into the house. You have your own Amazon business. You are helping other women predominantly build their Amazon business. And it sounds like you've niched in to specifically coming up with just products that are for women and in the women's health world. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. Yeah. So the women's health products kind of went along with writing my book. So I thought I'm just going to sell products in fertility, and I'm working to launch a supplement, which is it's a cream, and it's more of a challenge. So I thought, hey, I want to really challenge my selling skills on Amazon and getting a supplier. So that's part of my line. But yeah, the coaching program does help men and women because Jamie and I run it together. And
Okay.
but I would say I lead the women who are in the coaching program, and we have a team of coaches, right? It's not just me, it's not just Jamie, like there's a team of us, but I absolutely just, grained inside me to help women rise up. And that's why I have my Fearless Sellers, the Women of Amazon podcast.
Aha. What's the cream?
So the cream is a progesterone cream. And
Is it wild yam? Is it wild yam based?
It will have wild yam in it. Actually, yeah, we could talk about this. And you can give me, so I just talked to this one, well, I'm interviewing like 5 or 6 different manufacturers. They're all in the US, and they're all natural based. And I'm going through and analyzing every ingredient right now. So that's the process I'm at. So it hasn't launched yet, but yeah, I will definitely circle back with you to kind of tell you about it and even maybe test
So
it
many
out.
thoughts. Yeah. Well, and I'm curious, so was progesterone one of the really key pieces for you in your fertility journey?
Yes. And I bought progesterone creams while I was going through infertility.
Yeah.
And while I was using them, I learned all of the other amazing benefits that progesterone has for women of, going through menopause and like, especially I'm in, approaching my mid 40s. So I was like, hey, I want to make a cream that is better. And everybody goes to Amazon for this stuff. And that's where I was going. And the creams I was buying were not phenomenal.
Oh I can't believe we haven't talked about this. I have so many ideas. I'm traveling with a progesterone cream right now. So at 46, listen, for those of you that are listening, I think of progesterone as like satin. Okay, for a woman, if you're wanting more stable moods, if you're wanting to feel more calm, creative, just like that motherly, round, nourishing, you want quality, deep sleep. Oh, progesterone is our friend. So, okay, Joey, you and I need to have a chat.
I love this. Yes. Okay. Meant to be. See the universe.
So if someone is listening and they are curious, me included, around like, okay, I do all sorts of things. I have a job. I run a business. I'm an entrepreneur. It's successful. And in my scenario, I would like to take some time, maybe a year, maybe to do an around the world trip with my family and still deliver my gifts and be in my zone of genius and make sure that my programs and my deliverables are solid and figure out other creative ways to build other sources of income. It sure seems like Amazon sales is a possibility. Can you just speak to that a little bit? What does it look like for someone that's curious? Maybe they've got an extra 10 hours a week and they want to just spend some time on their computer or their phone and like dabble with the possibility of building some additional income sources. What does that look like?
Great question. Everybody wants the laptop lifestyle. And I want it because I want to spend time with my kid, my husband, and be able to travel and see my family and do whatever I really want. But I still like to make money. So Amazon is really step one. And why I love it so much is there's so many opportunities to sell products. So think about it as when you're shopping on Amazon and you're typing into the search bar, there is somebody on the other end of those products that pop up that are sellers like me. And we're just trying to get your attention to be like, hey, buy my progesterone cream or my sleep mask or, these cool new toys for your kids. And when you type into the Amazon search bar, let's say the word water bottle, if you're typing that in, you will see a suggested list that Amazon populates. Well, they're telling you what the top searches are on Amazon. That list is gold for people who are thinking, hey, maybe I could sell on Amazon, because what you'll see, and I did this earlier today, you type in water bottle, and one of the things on there is like 64-ounce water bottle. And then you click on that and type that in, and then it says with motivational quotes on it. And those bottles with motivational quotes are selling very well. So there's just opportunity in those niches. So it's like the riches are in the niches when you're selling on Amazon. And really that's true for anywhere you want to sell. If you want to sell, I don't know, have your own Shopify site, or if you're looking to be an influencer or whatever you want to do. But I just find Amazon gives you so much information that it's an easier platform to learn on, because we're already shopping and your shoppers go to Amazon to make a purchase. So you don't have to convince anybody to go to Amazon. All you have to do is convince them to buy your product.
And one of the first things that pops up for me is I don't want to manufacture. I don't want to warehouse. I don't want to
Yeah.
deal with ingredients lists and patents and inventory control. So is that, when you buy these, let's say you choose your water bottle, do you then have to go buy 1,000 of them and warehouse them and then put labels on
No.
boxes? Like, can we
Yeah.
get into the nuts and bolts here? What
Yeah.
is it that you're actually doing?
Yeah. So here's how it actually works. So you find your product, say it's a water bottle. You're like, great, I want to sell a water bottle. Find a supplier. I don't care if it's in China, doesn't matter if it's in the US, whatever supplier you want. You find your supplier. You have a minimum order quantity, probably 200 units, 300 units, maybe 1,000. You have the supplier ship the products directly to Amazon. Make sure you get a sample first. But anyway, ship the products directly to Amazon. Amazon holds that in their warehouse. Then you get to be in their Prime program because they're holding it for you. And Amazon packs it up and ships it to your customer for you. You just on your phone, I'm holding up my phone, all you have to do is watch your app. Like as a Seller Central app, as the seller, I just watch my app. And if there's any issues or anything I need to attend to, I just pay attention to the app. But the only thing I'm really paying attention to on my app, once I've done all the work to get my product there, is when I get the alerts that says, hey, your money's on the way. And then I'm like, oh, sweet. Okay, my payout's coming, because I already sent my product into the warehouse and they're shipping it for me.
So you're paying upfront for the however many you're going to purchase. Amazon now warehouses it for you, ships it for you, and then takes a percentage, gives you a percentage. Who do you find of the individuals, the women that come and work with you and take your program, hire you as in your coaching program to get this up and going? Who is that typical person?
Yeah, so it's an application only process. And the types of people we're looking for are self motivated, go getters, people who either have had jobs before, have a current job, and they understand that you have to take action, and what you put into your business is exactly what you're going to get out of it. And that's really it, is somebody who has the will to want to do it. And ideally is somebody who can follow instructions and is coachable and wants to learn from people who have done this before, like learn from me, learn from my team, because everybody on my team has gone through my coaching program. And so they know what it's like to either be starting out or have started an Amazon business and not know where to go.
And what if I think Berkey filters. I'm looking at the Berkey filter right now. I think Berkey filters are awesome. I'm going to go buy 100 of them.
Yeah.
And now I've invested, what it say $5,000 or $50,000 in Berkey filters, and nobody's buying them. And now I have all this cash out. Does
Yeah.
that ever happen? Do people make mistakes and now they've made the wrong choice for the product and now they've got all this cash out? And what do they do then?
So before that happens, we teach you proven methods for product research and validate the product. So if you come to me and you're like, hey, I'm going to sell a massage gun and I'm going to buy it for $10 out of China, and I'm going to buy 50 of them or 500 of them and ship them to the warehouse, I am straight up, as your coach, going to say, hey, look, massage guns sell thousands every single day, but unless you are the first to be selling the massage gun and you're already ranked high and you have your reviews, or you have the newest, latest, greatest massage gun, that is not a great product to start with. So we try to set you up for success by teaching you product research, product validation, and then after you understand where you fall in the market of how much money is your potential to make that month, how many units do you need to move, how are you going to move those units, then it's like, okay, green light, go ahead and launch. So I don't teach anything on feeling. I teach everything on data and proven sales, because it is very difficult if you just show up and you're like, hey, I created this brand new teeny tiny lip gloss that nobody's ever seen before. It's like, well, then I will tell you everything you're up against if that's what you want to sell.
The thing that's catching me is that nothing is by feeling and everything is by data, which I totally get when
Yeah.
it comes to wanting profitability. And we also started the conversation talking about infertility and wealth. And
Yep.
so inevitably, like, yes, the data is important, the research is important, knowing what you're doing to build a business, and especially for you to have gone from, to $1 million in 12 months, that's significant. And isn't there also some emotional journey, some mindset journey in the midst of how do I keep going when I'm afraid of failure? How do I not take those breaks, so to speak, to bring it back to the beginning of our
Yeah.
conversation?
I mean, that's huge, is to not take the breaks. And that is mindset that you need to be an entrepreneur and to be successful. And I think with selling the products on Amazon, like my women's health products, even though that's emotional and I'm very connected to it, I am still going off of data before I were to launch any product, because I want it to be successful and I don't want to waste any of my time or my money. So that's where like the data can come in with the emotion and is this a good calculated decision for what to sell in my business? I'm 100% in emotionally on my business, but like what products are a good fit.
Yeah. And in the midst of the work that you're doing in your coaching program, are you helping individuals when they're wavering in their 100% emotional in? Or is it really like that is important, but that's coaching you're going to get somewhere else? This is really the container to dig into the data and make sure that your Amazon business is profitable.
Yeah, I mean, mindset as a mentor and a coach, mindset is everything. And I think a lot of people need the coaching and the mentorship to just have the encouragement, like, hey, I did it. You can do it. I'm not special. I'm busier than most, and you can do it. And so that's where like the community really can come in to
Yeah.
keep you going, because you can get bogged down. And
Right.
so, yeah, we tried. That's one of the reasons we do so many live events. Like, there's at least one training a week. This week, I'm doing 4 live trainings.
Oh,
So there's
okay.
lots of the touch points so that people can come in, and every client is different, right? Some want a little bit more touchy feely, and some just want, what is this step? What is step 1? What is step 2? So I provide both. So I think that's a good point, bringing up the difference too between coaching and a course, right? Because coaching helps with like that mindset as well.
Yeah. And the other thing that I'm hearing is, if we're going to be a fearless seller, in your words, if I'm going to be a fearless woman in my journey of infertility, a fearless woman in my journey of business development, of course, I have to be all in. And so then what helps me be all in? I obviously have to build trust in myself and have people in front of me that have paved the way saying, look, I've done this, come on along. And so it perpetually infuses what sounds like you've built a community where someone new, someone in the middle range, someone who's been doing this for a while can all be in the same container. And they're perpetually having someone in front of them who's paving the way first. And I have hope to go, okay, if she can, I can. If she can, I can. I can do this, and I continue my hope so that I can continue to take steps, be fearless, be 100% all into myself, as well as the thing that I'm building, or the pregnancy I'm trying to reach.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
And I always think of it as like, that's why I named it Fearless Sellers, right? For my podcast, and just kind of to brand myself with Fearless Sellers, is we all have fear, and that's okay. Fear is real, but it's just a feeling.
Mhm.
And you have to accept the feeling and embrace it. There's no shame in being afraid of things. We're all afraid of taking the leap. But the real fear is, what if I don't take the leap? Like, what if I didn't build my Amazon business while I was potty training my 2-year-old, because it was easier just to sit around and be like, oh, well, I'm potty training this human, so that should really take up all my time, which, it doesn't. So that was my opportunity to build my Amazon business. And I will tell you, in 2017, I tried to sell on Amazon and it did not go well. Like, my first product was not a home run. So I've definitely pushed through failures, dusted myself off again, and kept going. And yeah, people judge and people laugh, and that's okay. They just don't get to know about me anymore.
Mhm.
I'm not mad at them. I definitely am like, put them in a different bucket. Like,
Mhm.
you don't get to know. But all those people come back around and they're like, hey, can you teach me to sell on Amazon? I'm like, 100%. I would absolutely love to teach you.
And so it sounds like you really niche down and you choose just a few products that you're really passionate about in categories that you're passionate about, and you put all your eggs in one basket in that space. Or are you perpetually researching new products and have like a whole grocery store of options?
Great question. And anybody listening who is interested in actually building an asset that you can sell to somebody for like 3, 4 times what the business is worth, you want to stay completely on brand. Like, you're building a brand. So if your brand is pets, like dogs or cats, pets, you are not going to sell something for babies, because you're going to stick everything into pets and you're going to expand your pet line, and it's going to be all about pets. And you are now the ultimate pet brand. Somebody's going to see that, see your sales are projecting at like 2, 3 times what you made your first year. And then they're going to want to buy your business. So that's exactly why I stay in my lane on the brand. I can sell anything. I would love, like, even just like looking at you right now and seeing what's in the background, I can see plenty of products that I could sell on Amazon, right? Like, potted plants sell well. and things that I would love to try to sell because I think I'd be good at it. And then I have to rein myself back in and say, you know what? That is not for me. I have chosen and spent money on my brand already in the women's space. So I'm going to stay here. Now, if I really wanted to, I can open a completely separate entity, separate Amazon store, Amazon brand, and I could also sell in like home decor.
And it's so fascinating because I think of all the times I've bought on Amazon, I've never paid any attention to who's selling it. It's not, but
Imagine.
you're talking about it from the perspective that I would theoretically go to your Amazon store because I know, love, and trust you.
Hmm,
Is that
maybe.
so for you to be on brand, it's not necessarily for the consumer, but it's for the business that you will then sell at some point down the road.
It's so for you shopping, right? You're just going to put in water bottle. Whatever comes up on the first page, you might only look at the top 7 on the page. I need to be in that top 7. There might be 25 sellers, but I need to catch your eye for somehow, some way with marketing and precision messaging to and photos to get your attention. Well, from there, now you just made a touch point with me. You bought my water bottle. Well, when now, you know, there will be opportunities that I can remarket to you and show you my brand, and you'll start to have a relationship with my brand, whether you know it or not. I will be able to resell to you and there's tips and tricks to do that to get you to absolutely love me as a brand.
So fascinating. Oh my gosh, I have so many questions, and I'm also watching my brain go ding, 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 ding. Before I forget, your progesterone cream, we also need a solid DHEA. So here's what Amazon needs
Yeah, I'm
from a
writing
women's
it
health
down.
provider. We need a solid vaginal suppository that's a DHEA vaginal suppository. And if it could be spectacular, it would also have hyaluronic acid and maybe even aloe in it, or CBD, but that's touchy because you can't cross national borders. But if you do a progesterone cream that we could put anywhere, and then an over-the-counter vaginal suppository that's DHEA, there is not much on the market in Amazon, and I'm perpetually suggesting it. So we can
Okay,
have a
great. I wrote that
conversation.
down.
We can talk about this, but I'm just telling you, mark my word, whoever's listening to this,
Yes. Hey,
they
look. And if anybody else wants to sell that, I will coach you on how to sell it. Like, I feel like there's room for all of us at the table.
Yeah, there just aren't enough manufacturers either. But if you're in
True.
a space, because it sounds like you're not only in the space of Amazon sales, but you're also open to being in communication with the manufacturers themselves.
Yeah, they become your business partners. I mean, your manufacturer and your supplier are a huge part of your business. And I like to get multiple suppliers, but for like my progesterone cream, I'm going back and forth with the facility that's making it for me.
Mhm.
And it's very involved. Yeah. So it's like it's a very important relationship. And I teach that a lot in my program of how to build that relationship because it's more than just an exchange of money and products.
Mhm. And so here we are. I'm aware of time. We're winding down. This podcast is predominantly for women, helping them feel vibrant. And that's through the lens of health. And obviously, you've had a health journey, but hopefully, if anyone who's listening, you're seeing the ties where we are wanting to build vitality through our health. We're also, if you're someone who's wanting to build a legacy and provide to your community and find a way to generate income, then the way in which we care for ourselves, how we do anything is how we do everything. And so there's these themes that have shown up in how we show up as entrepreneurs. If you choose that route, that's what Joey and I have chosen. And so far it's been amazing and difficult and fearless and all the things. I'm curious, Joey, if there's anything else that you would add to, all the ways in which we've kind of been weaving in this conversation that feels unsaid for you, or anything else that you would add.
I think another underlying theme that I want to bring up is building my Amazon business and my entrepreneurship journey was not about the money. I mean, it was a little bit about like the financial freedom, but what really came out of it when I started to see success quickly was the confidence. Like, I can't even tell you the confidence boost and the way that it just changes everything about you and who you are when you see yourself succeed. I wasn't doing this for anybody else. I mean, to be real, my husband's very successful. I don't even really need to work, but I want to work, and the confidence that it gives me, my health is better. I sleep better. I have better relationships with my friends. I have better relationships with my husband, my family, my kid, all because I can 100% look at myself and feel like I am capable to fulfill what I want to do. I have bad days and I get over stressed out and I'm grumpy and sometimes not pleasant to be around, but I have that confidence as my foundation.
Hmm. I love it. And, I think the big thing is you're able to, what I'm hearing is there's a relinquishing of control and letting go of the outcome. And for you, part of that comes with you have your safety net of a husband that's there to provide well for you financially. So it's not coming from a place of need, but it's also simply that you've found something that you're passionate about, and you've found a way to build your confidence to be able to say, I can do hard things
Yeah.
and I can be successful at them and I can keep going until I succeed. And that was becoming pregnant. That's building a business, and that's now helping others build their business. In my world, I am the breadwinner in my family. And so I don't necessarily have the safety net, so to speak. But I do notice that when I'm in scarcity mindset or worrying about the money, it sure takes the fun out of it. It takes the passion
Mm-hmm.
out of it. And it really changes how I be versus just allowing myself to stay in my vision and my passion. Of course, there's always tactic. And so I was pushing you a little bit when it's like all about the measurables and the research. It sounds like
Right.
that's really important, specifically with Amazon. But inevitably, I go back to um, it's who we be in the journey. And I think that that will tell me if you can agree with this, at least in my scenario, it sure makes the journey a lot more fun. And I think the confidence and the feelings of success when I'm at the top of the mountain, it's easier to celebrate when I can look back and know that I've done it in a way that is grounded and rooted in self care and rooted in making my vibrancy still a priority, even when there's days that I'm working more hours than I would like.
Yes, I agree. That's very well put. And that was one of the reasons I left all like the corporate world. I loved the corporate world. I worked for NBC News, I worked for Callaway Golf, Getty Images, and I was making other people a lot of money. And I was making good money, like really nice money. And it did occur to me though, my self-esteem and the way that I viewed myself was attached to my jobs and working and making money. And I wanted to do that, but I wanted to also take care of myself and feel healthy because I wasn't. And with those corporate jobs, especially being in marketing, um, I was the point person to go out and entertain and drink and be fun all the time. And that was for somebody else. And maybe there's a little bit of that in my business now, but it's a complete different shift. And I really like who I am now versus who I was in the fancy corporate
Mm.
corner office, and it's like finding the path to where you can do it and you have to believe in yourself and want to do it. Like I want to do it so bad. Like I wake up every day and I want this progesterone cream to launch. Do I need it to right now in my life? No, but I said I'm going to do it. It's going to happen.
I love it. Well, I'm so glad that you're out there, and I'm, of course, curious. We need to have a conversation about a lot of
Yes.
different things. Um, yeah, I know that you've got other places to go. For everyone who is leaning in and going, huh, this sounds really exciting. I would love to build an Amazon business that feels on brand with the things that I'm personally passionate about, um, and offer up quality products to those that are searching on Amazon. It sounds like Joey's a great resource. I'll make sure that her contact info and her websites and everything are in the show notes. Which social media platform do you tend to exist in the most, Joey?
Instagram. I run my own Instagram and I answer all of it. It's Joie, Joie Roberts.official. So yeah, hit me up with any questions, thoughts on Instagram. I'm always on there.
Great. And that's a good place for people to to reach out to you specifically.
Yeah, that's fine too. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Yep. Good stuff. So find her on Instagram. I'll make sure that link is in the show notes as well as her websites, everything else. I'm so glad that you had a phenomenal journey of fertility or infertility, which then became
yeah.
fertility, and now you're a mama. And thank you for sharing your journey in the book. Once again, the name of the book is,
Nothing in the Oven by Joie Roberts.
and we'll have that link in the show notes as well. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate who you are in the world and the way that you're supporting individuals to have freedom, the freedom that they're longing for.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me and enjoy your vacation.